This is our first shoot, Displacement Podcast.
Check. One,
Yeah.
two, 1, 2. Fellas, what's up?
I mean, cool.
No, you're too cool for school. That's a problem. All right, too cool for school. So, all right, so this is our first episode of the Displacement Podcast. Now, this is a podcast about...
Automotive discussions from an Antiguan perspective.
Fair enough. So right now we have my boy Killa.
In the building.
All right, I'm my boy Az.
That's right.
All right, and you don't know me and Melo the Dan. I'm not so much a car person. I'm more here to learn. And I got the two car experts in the building. So hence why they're mostly on camera, so to speak. So
Nah, but you just important though.
that's true. Because from a novice perspective, I'm here to get all the information and help.
You ask the real questions.
Let me ask the questions from somebody that don't really understand anything as it pertains to cars or automobiles or however you want to call it. I'm a mash and go person. The only thing I know about cars is every 6 months.
Oh gosh.
No, every 3 months, sorry.
Okay. All right, good.
I'm gonna so bad. Every 3 months, and these ever get service. But in my opinion, at least service at least 3 times a year. Because then everybody use them car
Well, yeah,
recklessly on the road, right? No?
true. I mean, that's a very technical conversation right there. If we get into how many hours you're idle and them kind of things. But anyways, that's another
We
discussion.
try not to make it too technical. But
That's
we
true,
want to
that's
educate
true.
the masses. You know?
All right, that's true. So
True.
let's start off first. Why Displacement Podcast, first and foremost?
Well, the term displacement is an automotive term, right?
All right,
It
nice.
really deals with the amount of CC, aka fluids, that an engine can displace. True, Killa.
Yep.
All right. So, the CC, this displacement, really refers to car chat. Play
Okay.
on words.
All right, nice.
In my opinion, information is fluid.
Straight up.
That's true. So today we could talk about, what's hot and what's not. What 268 drivers, the idea in terms of, how could I put it? What people think when it comes to a car. For most people, like I said, for myself, it's just a mash and go. Well, start,
Yeah.
mash,
Get to your
Get-
destination. Get back. Hopefully
True.
no breakdowns.
and that's where majority of the time things go bad when the
Yeah.
breakdown, and majority of the time it's too late. It's never too late, but it's at a point where it cost you a lot of money.
True.
So from your guys' perspective, what are one of the things that a new driver, somebody that just go to one of these car dealerships in Antigua, bought the car, what are the things they should take into consideration when buying a car?
So for me, I'll take that one and I'd say definitely preventative maintenance.
Okay.
Right? That's a big topic. And when you talk about preventative maintenance, you want to make sure that you're on top of things. Simple things, though. Simple things, nothing expensive, just knowledge. All right? So we're talking about investing in a tire pressure gauge.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, some of these new vehicles now,
True.
they can give you the display right there on the screen
Tell
and
you
let
what.
you know your rear left tire only has in
True.
12 pounds of pressure, 12 psi, when it really should be at 30 or 35, depending on what type of vehicle.
But because that's the most important thing, because you're assuming that even though we're going to the dealer, sometimes the dealer has used vehicles at an older age. You're assuming that they could buy a vehicle that's made from maybe 2016 and up.
We can interject this total thought. Ain't nobody in Antigua, right? Who get a new car, I go and dealer. New driver, I go and dealer. Everybody pan line, pan be father.
Facts.
Well, to be real, but
Facts.
when you're out there and you look around, guys, for real, how many new vehicles y'all see on the road? I still see plenty new vehicles on the road now.
True.
So
It's
as
like a
much as we
50-50.
say, you
It's
know,
like a 50-50.
Antigua boy, things tight, things rough, but I mean, maybe our
True.
age group, you might say, okay, a little bit less, but
Yeah.
I mean, plenty people. Like, if I was to intersect at different people I interact with, I'd say, yeah, maybe 3 in 10 people might have, fairly new vehicles.
That's
or
true.
vehicles they bought from a dealer.
That's
You
true.
know?
True.
So it's a balance of both, I think. Obviously, more used cars.
All right.
Yeah.
You know?
So a tire pressure gauge.
Mm-hmm.
What else you can say? Maybe like a battery pack.
Yeah.
But then that's if you're buying a new brand vehicle. I don't think you really need to.
Even if you buy a used, it's still need a battery pack now. Battery pack are always something good for her.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tire pressure gauge, new year used,
Yeah.
because we're assuming the car has tires.
Right?
So once you got tired up on the road,
I don't think we're at the position where we have where we have these, futuristic vehicles that they're thinking
Unless
about as
you're
yet.
operating some sort of forklift.
Me
And
tell
they
you.
have on solid tires.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, but once you're on the road, you need something for know what go on for a day in your wheel.
All right, so battery pack, you tire pressure gauge. What else you could
Right.
think that they can
Even
look
from a
into?
knowledge perspective,
Yeah.
as you mentioned earlier, just knowing when to do your oil changes, when to do your
True.
service.
True.
If you're buying a new vehicle, naturally, it probably will be under warranty. So
Yeah.
you might be covered for a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Correct.
Free service. You go back to the dealer, they do everything.
Yeah.
Then you just pay them a fraction of whatever. Or if it's a used vehicle that you're bringing in, you want to make sure that you're on top of your services. Make sure that it's 3 to 4 months or 3,000 miles or 4 to 5,000 kilometers. And once you're on top of that, that's good knowledge to know, right?
All right, fair enough. All right, so I know I started with going to the dealer, right? So let's separate it. Let's start with used vehicle. So we go to a dealer. We're looking at the used vehicle. After you make it, what should we take into consideration when purchasing a used vehicle? Is it just general knowledge? A lot of people look at it as mileage. And it'll be like, because the mileage short.
Long list.
Right, because the mileage short, that means you could get a good vehicle. Not taking into consideration that some cars can have a lot of mileage, but whoever owned that car previously
Correct.
took
Yeah.
very good care of that
Maintenance
vehicle.
history.
So maintenance history should take into consideration
Yeah,
when
if you
buying
can
a
get
used
a
vehicle.
maintenance history from a vehicle, you strike gold.
We don't have no Carfax.
Exactly.
And them things here,
You strike
unfortunately.
gold. If you have somebody that can tell you the maintenance history of a vehicle, who did what when,
With
you strike-
receipts, or at
yeah.
least,
you strike gold.
All right, so for used vehicle, mainly the Carfax then.
Yeah. If you can get a history of the vehicle, or in Antiguan terms, you know who does service that vehicle.
Yeah.
That will give you a
You're
clear
good to go.
direction as to,
All right, fair enough.
But you see, there are two ends to it as well. I mean, if you're bringing in a used vehicle versus purchasing a new vehicle or used vehicle that has been here for, let's say, 2 years.
True.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. 2 years on Antigua roads is
That's a 5
very
years
different than Japanese
in
roads.
developed world.
Japanese roads smooth. You ain't got to worry about no suspension, no ball joints, none of that.
So
kind
if
of
you're
thing.
buying a used vehicle here, you have to take into consideration suspension.
Yeah, man, because
Just change it one time.
yeah, so just start thinking about those things.
One time.
What do you call them? The axle, all them other
bushing.
stuff.
The
Bushing.
bushings, the ball joints,
Yeah.
the steering ends, inner and outer ends.
So when we buy my truck, right, coming out to parents go on the test drive truck in Miami, everything kosher. Say, oh yeah, right, nice, cool, great. Truck reach Antigua, and we start driving. Say,
so if you find out to all leave a change, ain't it?
Yo, my boy, I live on a street in Antigua, right? And my boy, like, every time he take a car to the mechanic, he's like, the only how he can know the mechanic did a good job if he drive from the road.
Yeah. No, straight
Once
up.
he come down this road,
Yeah.
and he hear, okay, everything good, the mechanic do a
Everything
good
good,
job. Because once he hear one little ping, he's like, all right, back to the mechanic. Yeah, you need to start with this.
some on the screen, right?
All right, so that's for the used vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So again, we'd have to check suspension, ball joints, front end parts, shocks, all these good stuff. As it pertains to the engine, what is a good way? But then again, you said, once you know who is servicing the vehicle and
Yeah.
they can give you an idea of, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
The other things I would say to look for too, whether you're purchasing locally or online, a lot of people tend to look over the undercarriage. So depending
Yeah.
on where you're purchasing from, for instance, in Japan, they might have snow and then they drive it in the winter. Then they use salt on the roads. You drive it, the salt gets in the undercarriage, and over time, over years, undercarriage rusty.
Nice.
So those are other things to look at.
So that's if you're buying it from overseas, you need to know exactly what location, what area
Right.
you're buying it
Or
from.
at least try to see photos, pictures. When I'm ordering, same thing you gotta do. You check and see what's going on.
Because-
if they don't have the photos, you try to request the photos.
Fair enough. Because pretty much for new vehicles,
For new, you don't gotta worry.
Yeah,
it's new.
it's new.
Exactly. So for
Good.
used vehicles, okay, and especially if you're shipping it in from overseas, these are things
Yeah,
you need to take
want
into
pictures of
consideration.
every nook and cranny upon that car if you can get it. You want pictures under the hood. You want
Have you-
pictures on the suspension. You want pictures inside.
So let me ask you a stupid question. Have you ever bought a vehicle? Well, you just said you bought your vehicle from overseas and when you got here, it was a different situation.
Yeah.
But for you, Killa, somebody that imports cars as well too.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought a vehicle from Japan and everything looks perfect, and then when it gets here, it's like,
Hell yeah, we got a pig in the bag once.
ooh.
I ordered a pickup for a close friend of mine. And on the pictures it looked perfect. 4-wheel drive, diesel, 2.0 turbo. The price was looking a bit shady. But I said, well, sometimes you get good deals. Boy, we ordered that. And when that got here, you realize that they painted over all the rust. So you wouldn't have seen the oxidation and the
Wow.
bronze and rusty type color stuff because it was painted over it. But if you were to use a screwdriver or something sharp
Ooh, that was horrible. man.
and start, pressing into areas, you just see,
It's like crumble.
right?
So pretty much that truck was bought for parts then.
It ended up just going to you drove it for a little while and that was that. It was done.
And can I bring up a good point there?
Yeah.
When the price is too good to be true.
Yep.
It's too good to be
Most
true.
times, guys. Most times.
It's
right?
too good to be true.
Yeah.
I mean, I end up rebuilding my engine because I knew it was too good to be true.
Right.
So I was willing to make the sacrifice on the engine, knowing that otherwise I'd have to pay more to get that quality engine.
Right.
Anyway. So
Good things the cheap things the good.
Exactly.
That's so you go.
Alright, so yes, we introduced ourselves, right? And we talked about, because for me personally, I know you guys personally, so I wanted to start there. But for the persons who don't know the history of you guys, right, as it pertains to car, because at the end of the day, we're looking at the reason why I don't put myself on camera is because I know me personally, as it pertains to vehicles, I have no credibility whatsoever, bro. Again,
Is that
Mash
credibility?
and-
You got some of the knowledge.
you can say what you want to say. Mash and go. When
All
I
gas,
see,
no
when I
brakes.
see, when I see the check engine light come on,
Oh,
mechanic time.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
You can say wow you want wow. I know
we just
for a
spoke about
fact.
preventative maintenance.
I know for no,
cardiac arrest ongoing.
no. Going forward, I could assess these things, but I know for a fact that for me, it's whatever show up on the dashboard, I pay attention to. So if the gas low, gas station.
Yeah.
Check engine light come on, definitely know he has to go that place, right? The mechanic. For you, Killa, tell me something about yourself. Tell us some history about yourself that can give you some level of credibility to, take
So,
what you say as it pertains to cars a little bit.
If you want to bounce back to the foundation mixed school, 4 years old, running around the schoolyard with a ruler and using the ruler as a steering wheel,
Ooh,
we can probably
the
start.
good old days.
Yeah, we probably can start from there. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man, just from making car sounds back in primary school and running around just into cars. I kind of came from a family that was always around cars too.
Nice.
I also would say that my family is kind of a big Toyota family, and I was kind of the
Not a topic of
know?
discussion.
as kind of the black sheep because
You
I
went
kind of
astray, man.
drifted off.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Sad.
But I just
Sad.
created a new dimension, a new,
Man,
But add to the family portfolio.
right?
ventured
So-
into VTEC.
As a matter of fact, coincidentally, I actually had a cousin who just messaged me. I was really like,
Yeah.
we don't want to jump the gun. But
Yeah.
we're not going to get into that topic yet.
Yeah.
But he messaged me just last night, coincidentally.
Yeah.
And he had like a list of about 8 vehicles that he owned. From his 1990 Sentra to his 2022 Porsche, whatever what he has now. Right? And
We could get there.
I sent him my list, right? And he was like, damn. Because he didn't realize I owned so many.
Yeah.
So I bought and sold a lot when I was in university.
Yeah.
Even before, actually, I used to work at the Wadali Hobby Shop. So you have them little 110 scale nitro powered cars.
Still have
Correct.
mine.
Yeah, where I really started to learn the foundation and the mechanics of suspension and engines and tuning and different
Nice.
components of the vehicle. And it just grew and grew and grew until I am where I am now.
So where are you presently?
Currently
Yeah.
working at one of the automotive retailers in Antigua.
Nice.
As a sales manager. My concentration is, in oils, but I've been branching out. But we sell oils, tires, batteries.
Correct.
I have my own personal rental-car business as well.
Nice.
So I manage a fleet separately, which is why I really try to speak a lot about preventative maintenance.
And you are responsible for maintaining these
I
vehicles.
don't
as
do
well.
the nuts and bolts thing like I used to
Yeah.
because time is a bit of an issue. But I actually have a really trustworthy mechanic. Hands down, no issues at all with him.
Nice.
Big ups to him.
Az, what about you? Give me some history
History.
as it pertains to you and how we can give you some credibility and when we hear you speak about cars.
So
Real car.
I've always been that nerd guy who is online looking at stuff.
Uh-huh.
Right? So for me, it started similar to Killa back in school, having little toy cars. I remember sometime in primary school, back 95, 98, McLaren F1 just came out, hot stuff with Puerto Rico, and I said like $10 for a model car. I said, mommy want that. Still have those model cars up to
Jeez.
now. Got into RC, so had what was that company? HPI, Ready to Run.
Yeah.
So
We used to
110
sell a lot of those.
scales,
Yep.
RC cars, electric cars, and then just Gran Turismo, the whole history of Gran Turismo. So you try to forget every single car, you try to forget every single Skyline, Del Sol, Civic,
Yep.
Facts.
They got a whole list, and then
Every
after
evolution.
that, yeah, all evolution and them
Subaru,
one right
everything,
through.
yeah.
So doing that, going online, looking at every spec, taking in all the information. From there, you try to get your hands when you start drive on your parents' vehicle and you do one thing.
T4,
Yeah, T4. Remember a night, all man's trying a cross country rally from from town. Go right wrong and
Hey,
somebody
look.
BMW breakdown shall not call any names. But a whole heap of this do some driving.
Yeah.
I mean, I think him on the Scott class mission in a college until I go up John I and I got own little track day.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, then time
Yeah.
you don't know, yeah, but had
Yeah.
the 11.
Yeah.
So I mean, from all them days, university.
Fact.
So I finally decided, further myself education, I'm going to do my masters. And me walking in university, I'm thinking to myself, they got all kind of clubs for join,
Yeah.
from all kind of groups, Caribbean groups, everybody. I'm just like, really care for this, really care for that. And then I see the automotive group.
Yeah.
I was like, you kidding me? So I joined that, did karting
Yeah.
up in the UK for a little while, did a few races, did well. People were surprised that a black person from the Caribbean could drive so well.
Yes.
Come on, man. I think, and this is what's surprising to me, not to cut you off, right, but this is what's surprising to me. I'm surprised that a lot more Caribbean people are not into like the racing.
It's so expensive.
Okay, fair enough.
So while I was up there, I thought to myself, hey, you really like it, you're okay, maybe you can try get into it. The cost for a karting license before you can go to a Formula 3 or anything up there, maintain the car, is through the roof.
So it's a rich sport then.
Yeah, racing is a rich sport. They would tell you that. If you look at Lewis Hamilton's history, you tell you his father pushed all the money he had. They were living in a car at one point in time just so he can excel in racing. But that's a little about me because I just did that, and then after that, set up sim racing stuff in my bedroom out of love, driving
That's true.
online.
Had
Turned
the
that into
business-
had a business, turned that
and-
into the business, doing a mobile arcade for a while. And for me, that's when I started to take gaming seriously and sim racing seriously, because after doing karting
Yeah.
and then driving a kart on Gran Turismo,
Yeah.
I said there's no way that could be that real. The feel of the wheel on Gran Turismo is so similar to sitting on an actual kart. I realized Gran Turismo, you have credibility.
Yeah.
And so I
Real
spent,
simulator.
yeah. So I spent a lot of time racing all kind of cars in Gran Turismo, holding my scales, drifting, all kind of foolishness.
Well,
And-
well, for me, I have no credibility whatsoever. Listen, for me, Gran Turismo was again mash and go. So you know your boy Akeem, kid in the States now, super car fanatic right now, set up car race.
Yes, no, he had a Volkswagen before, no? And an Audi or something.
Well, right now, he still has the Vos. I think that's like a 11 or 10 second car right now. He still have his Audi. He has a friend. That's all the man do, boss. Just car.
And you know, surprisingly, all of them mingle like the same primary school. You know, they seem like one of the super soup ones.
Yeah.
Going through.
Aki?
Soup, but
Kid?
I feel
No,
like you know,
kid.
mean
No, kid.
super
No,
soup,
kid.
like, oh man, me real soup.
No, listen, kid mean different. Because he tried with me, no. But what I realize is when it comes to car, it's not just on love, but on talent, bro.
True.
You have to be like some God gift you with that because we just like I used to go by him and all this play Gran Turismo heavy, bro.
Yeah.
Me no. Yo, fake car a little bit faster than for me saying if you set up for me car the same way you set up fake car.
Nah.
And then he was so good at Gran Turismo, right? That he realized, like my shifting fingers were quick. So he does have to set my gearbox different than his gearbox.
Ah, true, makes sense.
That's how we know this guy does different. Because Mars say, yo, let me get set for me gearbox. You know, set for me gearbox. Like he said, can't set for gear. Melamo can't set for gearbox like that because, you know, your hand quick.
Yeah.
So I have to set it according to, you know, your reflexes faster. And
That's real life stuff.
and
Like a
then
short
we
shift.
exactly. And then we realize how, say, all right,
It's serious. It's serious.
you on a different level. So all I used to do is he just set up the car engine. And when it comes to spraying the car and designing the car, I would handle that part. So for me, having this conversation here with you guys as well too, because you know, speaking to us a lot, we got into cars. I spoke to him a lot about, you know, cars and what we are trying to transition to from not just the combustion engine, but trying to push the EV as well too. We thought that it would be best to not only keep the information to ourselves, but at least share it as well.
True.
And then having thought about, okay, how we can put the whole thing together, or the whole package together, your name came up like right off the bat. Because, you know, not only you're a car fanatic, but we went to school together.
Yep.
We have that understanding, and I think we share the same passion. For the both of y'all, it's more on the actual love for the vehicles.
Yeah.
For me, myself, it's more the actual, just not only on the environmental side, but for the aesthetics. And that's why I think with this podcast, it can be a lot because it can be good because whereas you guys are more focused not only on the aesthetics with me, but you can focus on the engine and the performance and so on. I can say, hey, this is where my 2 cents come in. All right. I like to see the rims there. Okay, then low profile tire will go like a better. I think this car will look good with a nice like, spoiler, a nice like, design here and there.
True.
And you know, everybody does compliment everybody, right? So here in Antigua again, we have, you know, a set of challenges as it pertains to vehicle. We have, you know, weather, which is climate. We have infrastructure, inflation. Cost of living.
Control right now.
You understand?
Is it?
And that's the world in general, right? But here, more than some, right? An article came out on Antigua Newsroom of the top selling cars in Antigua. And we're in the WhatsApp group as posted in there. And for me, it's neither here nor there.
No,
but for you two guys, it was surprising. And I'm here trying to figure out why was it surprising. Because for me, I understand it because of from a price point. So I would like to know your guys' thought as it pertains to the list. Now we could go through the list. So as it pertains to the list, we're looking at top selling cars in Antigua. So we have the Honda Fit, Honda CR-V, Toyota Highlander, Honda Civic, Lexus IS, BMW 5 Series, Toyota RAV4, and Jaguar X. Okay, no man understand what makes this system in a sense.
What is this?
Because first and foremost,
How the national can make the list? Like,
What is this?
Before we even continue to this list, right? You know, maybe every decade the list, like the number one kind Antigua evolve, right?
It does.
Because
It was
in my
Vistas.
generation,
Wait,
no, but hold on.
Rollers.
If in my
It's still
generation,
the Toyota
it was
though.
And surprisingly, Vitz how Honda end up there. But in my generation, it was Starlet. Then Starlet and Civic, back and forth, right? Then you had the Toyota Vista,
Yeah.
just a little bit.
The Vista,
Before the Vista, we had the Altiza.
Yeah.
Then you go to Vista. Then the
Corolla.
Altiza,
Corollas were a big
Kingfish,
Yeah.
Corolla, and the Recon as well too.
Yeah.
So to my surprise,
What is that list?
how Vitz and CRV.
So somebody need to tell her how we
What
didn't
is
get
that
that
They try
list
for
from.
wonder if somebody pay
I'll
on a
tell you
specific
what I
deal to
think.
pay somebody for
Could be, but what I
orchestra.
think, like in my time going online and ordering cars too, like if you go on B Forward or
Yeah.
if you go on
Oh,
SBT,
I see what this is.
they would give you like a list of cars that are often shipped to
Antigua,
St.
yeah.
John's, Antigua, wherever.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe somebody just extracted it because I know ain't no ton of Toyota Highlander on no road here.
I
You
still
can't
don't.
even
We
count
don't even
20.
see a Highlander around here.
Ask me what Highlander-
Runners a Land Cruiser or Prado.
Ask me what Highlander be.
Is what I'm telling you.
I have
you
no
know?
idea. No, 4Runner and Prado, that makes
Forerunner and
sense.
Prado and so.
Especially
Right.
the 4Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But me about Highlander. The Vitz, I can't understand. I've seen a lot of CRVs though.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
of late.
CRVs are there.
Hands
Civics are there.
Especially the newer ones too.
Yeah.
The
Well,
newer
Civics
ones.
aren't even there now. Any Civic is seen on old model Civic.
Who
You
wants
don't
Civic
see a new
90?
model Civic.
What do you mean?
Because Civic has priced itself out of that category.
The
That's
funny
true.
part too, and sure, so I don't want to get all the way into the dealers
Yeah.
already, but I think, the Toyota dealer and the Nissan dealers. The Toyota dealers and the Nissan dealers are
Yeah.
two of the bigger dealers, I think, compared
Yeah,
to the
true.
Honda dealer here.
That is true.
True.
Right? So
That is true.
that is a part of it. But I think from the importation perspective, that's where you'd probably find, even like when I got my Civic Type R, and
Yeah.
Motors never even had it available.
At the time.
When Yaba got his.
Yeah.
Right, and he was one of the first who actually exposed me to that made me want to get one.
True.
Both of us imported our own. So the local availability is missing in a sense.
Yeah, I think this list is more of an imported list though.
Probably.
I personally think so
That
because
list has no thought.
the Lexus IS, who in
Yeah,
Antigua
that's
sell?
all importation.
Yeah,
whatever.
nobody in Antigua sell that.
I've never seen
No
that.
dealer in Antigua
Yeah.
sells that
No.
like that unless you get
The Jaguar XF. I haven't even seen much of those.
what is a Jaguar?
All right.
A Jaguar XF.
There are a few.
First and foremost, the question was what is a Jaguar?
Jaguar is a
'Cause
London-made brand.
No, because it used to be like one of them brands that you aspire to have
Yeah, it
when
used
we
to
were
be, like,
younger.
mad luxurious
But
too.
not now. It's like
I
you
mean,
have so much luxury vehicles.
Truth
No,
be
so
told, Jaguar has really lost its essence in the grand scheme of cars
yeah.
internationally.
Okay.
So the Jaguar Land Rover group is right now only known for Land Rovers.
And that's
Land
yeah.
Rover are sell like hot bread, butter, and cheese all around the world.
I'll
The
tell
new
you-
Defender just a take over.
I'll tell you what the Jaguars remind me of. Like going back to like Gran Turismo
Yeah,
days
yeah,
and so.
yeah.
It reminds me a lot of like a Aston Martin
Right.
DB7 coupe, that kind of thing. It always
The
gave you something
James
to
Bond.
aspire to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that's
But-
what you know on Jaguar for, but
Yeah.
for be on a list for a top selling car
Yeah.
in Antigua is not possible.
But let me ask you a question. When the last time you see a Jaguar on Antigua streets, bro?
I'm not gonna lie, I saw one today.
Killer, you bad for business.
No real
bro.
stuff, man. My kind of funny. We like 647. But there's one always parked by Townhouse Megastore.
Okay, fair enough. So that's
I mean,
okay, but that's one.
you know
It's
the
probably
thing,
just, yeah.
the thing about Antigua, right, is the same cars are always in the same places all the
and
time.
it's a small place too, so you will see it, especially if you're on the road moving
That,
about.
that is a very good point.
Nobody in All Saints is going to say, "Hey, me see, I'm black Evie, man with
listen.
the blue writing on the side."
And if you take the same road every day, the only time you're not going to see that car, if it's a case where it's like, oh, probably the person sick out and gone overseas for
Yeah.
vacation or something, because
But
you are going to see
you
that
see
car.
the same car in them every day, all the time, on
True.
the same route. And
But,
so
but this list, whoever created this list, needs to-
that list is fictitious.
Yeah, it got some. It hit some, but it didn't hit all. The RAV4,
Yeah.
RAV4 was out there. Nearly all the models from 96,
Yeah.
97, 98, come all the way up to like 2008.
But let me ask you a question. So we touched on
5 Series.
cars. We touched on cars that we think should be on this list, which are the Vitz and the.
Numerous Corollas.
All right, fair enough. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think, apart from price, why do you think that
Why Vitz is so popular?
not only Vitz, but Vitz and Fit, yeah, as it pertains to those two cars?
I'm sure Killa has the details down pack.
How I'm
But
thinking about it is, well, from what I've seen, and
Yeah.
even in ordering for people too, the larger the vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
the more expensive the freight,
true.
right? I guess prior to this whole, fuel crisis that's going on, as my
And
friend
war-
Hans will
war in
speak
Ukraine.
about, go on his soapbox and start talking about EVs, right? Yeah, it is the most affordable, but it also is one of the Vitz and the Fit.
Yeah.
They're also two, I'd say, of the most economical vehicles.
Okay.
That's true.
So, like, for instance, today, I drive in my Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
It's a 2.4 liter, and I probably get maybe one day $50 gas will probably carry me one day. If I put $50 in my Vitz,
Easy.
If I put $50 in my Vitz, blow AC all day, it lasts me 2.5 days. Like, you know, they're talking about displacement 1500cc versus a 2400 or 2.4 liter. So, you know, but
So you were
all these other things taken into consideration. Odyssey is a van, it's heavier versus something that's much lighter.
I'm still at $50 a day.
Right? Yeah, man. Yeah, easy.
That's a lot of money.
Easy.
Wow.
So we consider these two vehicles good entry. So if I'm somebody, this is my first vehicle, first time getting a car, you would recommend a Vitz outfit to somebody, a used vehicle, not somebody that can afford a new one. But if I want to buy my first vehicle used, you would recommend me to get a Vitz outfit.
I would even go as far as to say, like, suspension wise and Antigua's roads.
Yeah.
The Vitz I think is even a little bit tougher than the Fit too. But I find with the Hondas, you know, big Honda man over here, styling is always nice.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about toughness, more ruggedness, durability, you know, especially with the roads here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I vote to be a Vitz for sure.
Nice. For you, what you think? The same thing?
Well, pretty much. My recommendation is buy whatever everybody got.
Easy.
If you're
That's a very good point.
whatever everybody else got, get one of them.
Because you not have pass problem.
Exactly.
But the other part of that is too. Look at what happened after
LOL.
LOL. Look at what happened after LOL over the place. Well, if you all pass that spot up the road opposite Malvin's trucking, that man go in the man parking lot and just left one on grung. No blocks. The man even left on jack on the bus. Broke the glass.
For those who don't know, enlighten us what happened after LOL.
Eh?
What happened after
Who wants to take that?
Well, listen, I've seen the videos, right? Down to my bump and then walk with bus.
Well
Trust.
disturbed.
It's like after LOL.
Nothing was
Not even
exempt.
after LOL. Okay, you can't say that happened after. Because if it happened after, the person will get catch. While LOL was happening,
People
which is
went
an
back.
event in Antigua, which is, you know, all include. Well, not a cool effect in Antigua. Some people decide to go car shopping. So, that's true.
shopping.
Car part shopping because they left the cars there. So, headlights went missing, backlights went missing, bumpers went missing, skirting went missing.
Glasses were broken.
Listen,
Wheels went
rear view
missing.
mirror went missing, tire and rim went missing.
So somebody was building a car.
Yeah, it seems so.
Multiple cars.
Project. Yeah.
Not one.
Wow.
Trust me, they how I use cars.
Yeah, that is the true danger anywhere around the world. We have a
I
popular
mean, yeah,
vehicle.
that's not just here; it's
Chop
everywhere.
style.
But you know, all right, fair enough. What you think about the Honda Civic though? Would you say that's a good entry car for somebody? I know you said the Toyotas are more rugged, but take into consideration, not everybody is just going to look at
Just the economical
that's
aspect.
the economical aspect, but the aesthetics. No, that's one thing that Honda have over a lot of
True.
a lot of cars too,
styling.
especially in the economic class as it pertains to vehicles. Would you still recommend the Honda? And if you do recommend the Honda Civic, what are some things people need to take into consideration when purchasing a Honda Civic from a Honda guy himself?
The popular Honda Civic I think you see around here would be, I've seen some FD1s, which are the 2006 to 2009 model.
Mm-hmm.
But the FD1, my dear friend here, Oz would like, is the hybrid. Some of them are hybrids, right?
Yeah.
Pricing them are fairly good too. But
True.
the issue that I've seen come up in the few that I've ordered and been around, it actually has a battery meter, and sometimes because it's a pre-owned vehicle,
Yeah.
you find that the battery health isn't the best. So I've heard of one or two cases where they've had to replace the battery.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can get it from a wreck if a wreck has a good condition battery. I don't know who would do that kind of thing or how simple the replacement is. But I know that it has been done a few times. That's the popular Civic that's around here. But as we know, that can spill over into many different things because you have different years, different classes, you have different trims. For me, I own a Civic Type R.
Yeah.
Top
and
trim.
Absolutely loved it. That's the top of the top, you know? And you can get it in, 2006 model. Younger times we had them in the 2000 models. You could get it as a race base with wind-up windows if you want and no AC.
Yeah.
Or you can get it with all the creature comforts, airbags, reclinable seats, power mirrors, all that.
Bro, with all due respect, I'm gonna say this with all due respect, right? Nobody can give me no car. Matter of fact, let me take that one.
With the window wind up.
Yeah. Nobody can give me no car with the window. But no, you know exactly what I'm trying to say, but at the end of the day,
Dude,
this we try for,
That could be super sought after for different folks.
But
Like, for
True.
real, a race-based Civic Type R
Yeah.
is something that is, it's probably quadruple the price of a regular Civic Type R just because of the trim that it is.
and that's a real thing that's blowing up across the world right now. So last couple of weeks I've been following the trends in prices of vintage vehicles. So what vehicles that we used to seek after when we were young,
Yeah.
those are now the expensive stuff.
Dude.
Because everybody our age now who has money want a vehicle that they couldn't afford
Back in the day.
back in the day.
That's true.
I'll
So-
tell you the next thing that's influencing that price that I realize a lot, especially if you're ordering from Japan or wherever. Apparently, I think the US has a law now.
Yes, the
where
20
if it's 20 or 25
20 or
years
25
old,
year ban.
it can automatically be classified as a classic. So it doesn't need
Yeah.
to meet certain requirements. So whereas before, if I bring in a car from Japan, it's 5 years old, you got to meet all the seat belts,
Right.
safety regulations,
Right.
Takata harnesses, whatever for the airbags, all
Yep.
that crap.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you just don't get into the country, you send it back. Now, once you're at that 20 or 25
Yeah.
year, then you can automatically import it as a classic.
Yeah.
So Civic Type R that like
No.
me and Weedman and Kenny and so had
Now
growing up,
being imported
Yeah.
in the US.
we got those back in the day for like between 5 to 6,500 US, buy and ship here to Antigua.
No.
Right now, you go online and look for one of those, it's about 20,000 US.
Ooh.
It's more expensive than your 2008
And
Civic Type
this
R.
is the
you know-
cheap end, yeah?
You know somebody in a down the road. I see an old one down the road. You know somebody
Yeah,
say,
real talk.
This is a cheap end.
I got
So-
to invest in that.
Yeah. Right?
I'm not sure how many are left. No, I know of only one that I've seen running. Tommy Mackinnon Lancer Evolution.
A few
Yeah.
of those
Do
here,
you
two
know?
or three.
Do you know how much that is valued now?
How much?
£200,000
We have three of them here, no?
at least. I know we have the red one.
The red
There's a
one that
white.
was parked by Quinn Ferraro.
Yeah,
Yes.
Uncle Kit.
But that
And
don't
Kit
that
own-
don't move.
it
though.
moved.
Yeah.
It
I
moves.
saw it.
Moving,
I
so-
saw it.
Because that's like it's in it
I
like
saw it on the road last month. Somebody was driving it.
yo,
at
that's
the
been there for
pharmacy.
years, bro.
It's drivable. It's running. I heard it. It's running smooth.
The white one.
Bro,
think
I know that I've been there since I was about
is crazy.
11.
Last month I saw it on the road, and I'm telling you that is valued in the UK close to £200,000.
A
Yeah,
host that
they
no.
Yeah.
If you can get
No, 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 no,
Not even go on the
no,
road.
no,
Well,
no,
nah,
no.
start
Hold
touching
on,
up
hold
on
on,
the
hold on.
intro.
No,
Go ahead.
I'll go down the road, but you can't just breeze over that, bro.
yo
Bro,
Yeah.
200,000 pounds, you know.
Yeah, it's
Great British pound.
I can tell you, right?
Easy.
How host that no?
The people in them
If you
who
get in
mash
good
up the
condition,
market,
yeah, it's crazy.
the
What?
people in them who mash up the market are the overseas people in
With
them
money.
who have real money,
Yeah.
who are accustomed to nothing. We're accustomed to
That's
it because
almost a
our can
Bitcoin
bring
boy.
them in.
You know,
But for
like
them, it's super sought after.
One
And they
of-
have cash.
one of the most expensive vehicle in Antigua right now
Yeah.
in Barnesville and galvanized
R33
shed,
Skyline. Midnight Purple.
midnight purple.
Like a really sought
Real
after
colour.
color. And he just did. In even
Yo,
Yeah,
can
okay,
easily
hold on,
somebody-
fellas,
he
hold
can
on. Ah,
easily
wait.
get-
Let's pause this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause this podcast for now because, motherfucker, I think I would edit out this part because I will give you too much information. What?
Serious.
real some. Like
Me-
somebody overseas would have built a house to put that car in.
Seriously,
And
easy.
right here in Antigua, he just did attached to the side of the house. Just
Yeah,
cool.
like an
And the man
ornament.
like in the driving man, so
He move every time the grass cut.
they're about.
Oh, so it's drivable.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. Of
it's in
course,
one in
but
order,
just
and
like he did
and
driving.
the price gets higher if it's stock, and that looks like it is stock.
Like nothing touch.
If nothing touch, maybe there's no muffler chain and everything else normal. You can easily command close to $500,000 on that car. Might look exaggerate.
No, let's
Maybe about 250.
Dude.
let's acknowledge the silence for a minute. What a wicked set of man, boy.
The price exaggerated, but it is.
You know, no more
Over
feel
a million
real
DC,
bad
yeah.
now. Kid, me they teach me. Aki, me they teach me all this about okay, I'm gonna take them in, boss.
No, real song.
Serious. We have a lot of cars here. I remember I saw somebody has one like a 96 WRX ST. I think it is a yellow one running.
The STO2?
Yeah. That
Once again, I really
that
sought after trim.
is again above 100,000 US.
If you've ever noticed, well, if anybody's ever noticed, if I'm not mistaken, Oz
Yeah.
can correct me if I'm wrong, the S202
Top model.
is a Subaru,
Yeah.
right? It's very similar to STI, but it doesn't come with a Subaru badge on it.
No.
And I think it's because all manufactured production cars have a certain horsepower limit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's supposed to be. If you ever notice playing Gran Turismo, none of them come more than 276 brake
Right,
horsepower.
right,
There's
right.
actually a reason behind it, but I can give you the history.
This comes with like 320 horsepower out of the box. So I don't think it can officially have a Subaru branded manufacturer badge on it.
It would break the
it's just
Japanese
called-
agreement,
Correct. It just call it SU.
which is a handshake among the dealers.
It looked just like a Subaru. Everything on it says Subaru. Nothing different other than maybe the turbo upgrades
Yeah.
they did. But officially they can stamp and put on a Subaru badge
It
to
has
say
to be a
that.
special edition, and those are normally made in limited quantities,
Correct.
by the way. So that's probably 1 of 1,000.
And we have a couple
Worldwide.
S202s here.
Same thing for the Mackinnon. That was a limited run edition.
I'm at my head up, me boy.
Alright.
Midnight Purple again is
To-
sought after
to
color.
me, this car fraternity setup
Yeah.
is no different than like the stock market and
Yeah.
investing in Zono. And, you know, looking at trends and following current trends and news and investing in this versus that.
So no, all the time that me just bash all the camera and never say I waste my money, really and truly I mean
Pay off
to invest.
Yeah, if you made the right
It's
choice
a
and you
vibe.
still have that,
Right?
Perfect no. So
MR2s.
Jesus Christ. And you know I'm a mash up an MR2 just up the road up there.
Oh, yeah.
One and well not newly but
Ameri-
maybe like just before the pandemic. The
yeah,
the
yeah.
gunmetal one. And
Okay,
that
yeah,
mean be
yeah, Chris.
straight. That
Yeah,
mean
I
be
don't think
straight
you're on your
from
fresh one. I'm
no,
thinking
but
new
that one
Gen
me
2,
do
Gen 3.
Yeah.
yeah, that one me come straight from Japan, nothing touch.
Yeah.
And I'm in the optimum
I think
condition,
it's a
right?
Top two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So perfect. So it leads me now into my next question because we're speaking about used cars, right? Yeah, you know, get a little bit excited, but so should we take into consideration when I say we, somebody that's buying my first time, putting myself in the shoes of somebody that's buying a car for their first time and buying a used car? Do I take into consideration the resale value as well too when buying a used car?
in Antigua,
I'd say,
Yeah, in Antigua,
absolute.
pretty much.
get what everybody else got. Or everybody wants.
Fair
Because
enough.
you can get a good car, used car. It's not that popular.
Yeah.
Good condition and everything.
Work
it works
good, everything.
well.
It's going to
But
be hard
then
to sell.
nobody really wants
It's going to
it.
be hard to sell.
Yeah, nobody
If
really
it's not
wants
that
it.
popular, it's going to be hard to sell for sure.
That's true now because when I bought my Vitz, right, I had it. Then the pandemic happened. It was just sitting there. I was like, you know what, this car sitting on here for almost on like 6-7 months. Pandemic look like you're going away for too long, so I made the conscious effort. Like, yeah, let me sell this car. Within 2 weeks, bro,
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
gone.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Wow, that's crazy.
You see, the thing about having a popular car is an easier sell,
Yeah.
but the thing that will differentiate you from everybody else is the same things we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
The maintenance, how you keep it. Because it's not hard for somebody who's into cars to come and see
Yeah.
that, okay, this was well kept. The man check the interior, the man on there bunny in here and see no cigarette hole in the seat
True.
hole. You look when rest starting, it smell kind of nice. You check the rims, the rest. Okay, you have no curb rash. So you look at the things and realize, okay, is he the responsible driver or somebody who's responsible taking care of the vehicle?
Exactly.
And those are the little telltale signs you look for to say, hey, okay, I'm willing to spend the extra couple grand on this year because I know he Chris.
All right, so perfect. So how do we, again, speaking from a person, first time buyer, you know, first time car owner, how do we go about, what are some of the check or the list of things that you should take into consideration in order to keep your car at a, you know, optimum level? No, I'm not just saying just the wash down every
I was
weekend.
just about to say, Mello, to your point,
Yeah.
it come in a lot with the same aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is how you keep that body is making sure your paint not faded. A lot of
Yeah.
those things are the first impressions. Right?
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
Other
Before
things
you
are gonna
pop
be
the trunk
you
and
know,
all
the
that.
mechanics and them kind of things. But visual, whether female or male, the first thing you can look at is Tall.
But he not look good.
They don't bleach out, boy.
So
he not
maintain-
even had the time for paint them. Or he didn't even polish them up or buff them up or, you know?
Alright, so exactly. So because for me personally, I was, even though I was putting myself in the shoe of a first time buyer, I was still thinking about just the engine wise, right? So for now, so let's start with the body, because again, first impression is everything. So what are some of the things that I could do to keep, apart from just washing the vehicle? Matter of fact, not even apart from, let's stick with washing the vehicle, because for me,
Do you use Squeezy?
Squeezy have you.
No.
But people think,
No.
you see,
No.
exactly.
Don't.
So
No.
what? So first,
Squeezy, the Dawn, the other liquid detergent agents. Don't.
You're
It's not a
kidding me,
good
boy.
look, guys.
all right. So what should I be using in order to wash? To wash? Yes. Should I be using in order to wash the vehicle? Because not to cut you off, but just to add, even though we're talking about Squeeze, some people say you have to be careful with the power wash they use as well, to with certain PSI you can't use on the body.
Yeah, you have to know your
because-
tips.
Because not only that, from power wash, blow off paint, live.
Yeah, you have to know.
Live. No, serious.
Easy.
And it has happened
Yo, the
to
man,
me.
me laugh at the man. Serious,
Yo,
serious,
I've seen it on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
Wow.
You done blow
Okay,
off
so
paint, live.
you have to be taking into consideration the power that the power wash is pushing.
Yeah.
That's one.
How close you're holding it and all of that.
Yeah.
Alright, that's true. So if we're not using Squeezy, because again, people will use what's at their disposal, right? If you don't know, you just don't know.
So Squeezy okay for the wheels.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think about Squeezy versus car wash,
Yeah.
Squeezy made to wash dishes. Dishes are generally not just dirty but greasy.
Yeah.
Right? So Squeezy and detergents are made to cut grease.
Yeah. And when we say Squeezy, we talk about
Detergent, dishwashing
dishwashing liquid, right?
detergent for those
In the
overseas.
Caribbean, everything is Squeezy,
Yeah.
and all cereals are conflict.
Yeah. Right?
It's just how we're programmed.
So, that being said, you have like different layers above that paint.
Yeah.
You have
Okay.
a clear coat,
Yeah.
and you want to protect your clear coat, and that's what protects all the fading and all them stuff, especially in our climate where it's
Yeah.
always very hot, right? And we also have salt air around because we're surrounded by beaches.
Right. So
Right?
we're more inclined to bleaching and all that stuff.
Correct.
All right.
right?
Cool.
So that being said, when you use that Squeezy or that dishwashing liquid, you're stripping away all that protection above the paint. You're eating away at the clear because it has in detergent. It has chemical compounds to remove.
Yeah.
Right? Even the protection that you're putting on top. So it goes to show if you use that, within short order you can see bleaching because your protective layer is going because it's eating away at it.
I've actually never had a car with bleach paint.
Makes
So
sense.
this is
That-
the gentleman
Yeah,
who
makes
always
sense.
uses
Yeah,
car
yeah.
wash,
I mean-
polishes, waxes,
But
and all those
let me
things.
let me say this. It goes to the point because the first car that I ever owned was a Altiza, right? And when I get the Altiza, the woman just proved the Altiza. I had the Altiza for about almost 2 years, and within the first 6, I used to wash my car every Saturday religiously. Within the first 6 months, the Altiza started peeling. I tell the woman, yo, come out for this car, and come here, no chipping this, you give me the bath. Now take into consideration the squeeze.
Squeezy.
Squeezy just
the boy.
yeah.
You just
Squeezy
wash
just a
off that
smile.
paint. You just wash off that
Every
paint.
week you squeeze it, just say, yeah, man, make us a paint for them.
tell Eat it up.
Wow. So that makes sense. So okay, so car wash liquid,
And you
that
don't have
would
to
be
buy
perfect.
expensive ones either, you
It
know.
don't need to be expensive.
Nice.
You don't have to be
They have
Maguire's.
wash and wax. You don't even need nothing like
Just a
terribly
simple
expensive.
one. Yeah.
Okay, so the waxing, how often do you think the polishing and waxing should happen? Should it be like every 6
It
months?
really depends on if the vehicle is stored
Outside,
sun,
that
is-
or
yeah.
if it's in a garage kind of
Nice,
thing.
nice.
But to start
Things
off
to
with
take
the
into
car wash
consideration.
aspect, you can get a plain car wash. That won't remove all of the protective layers. You can get a wash and wax.
Yeah, in one.
Which does like a little booster wax if you already have a good
Yeah.
protective layer on it.
Nice.
If you're looking to do polishing and waxing,
Yeah.
I'd say maybe if you're a real car freak, maybe every 3 months.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't need to more than every 6 months.
Ah.
If you work close to like Mill Reef where you get
Yeah.
a ton of salt here, then you can be more prone to it.
I know you say Millway, if that's close
Anywhere
to the
close
beach,
to
beaches and
beaches,
so on.
Seaside.
You know?
All right, nice. I never really took into consideration the exterior maintenance, so to speak. I mean, apart from just the regular washing, but now hearing you guys speak the
You might be better
squeezy
off not washing your
definitely
car.
True things
compared
if
to
you
me
use
with the
it.
squeezy, of course.
I kid you not.
Yeah.
There's a running joke at work that when my car is washed, people are like, whose car is that?
Catch and cold.
I like the car go barber shop again. Nice
Yeah.
mark with the light
Yeah,
up for the
but
sun.
nonetheless,
Yeah.
my car is not nowhere near bleaching.
Nice.
Because when it gets washed with proper things.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
All right, and then so from the exterior now we go to the interior. How important it is to have a window visor? Because for me, honestly, I understand it. Like if you have a good one, it will reflect the heat from the inside, right?
Yeah,
From the outside that comes inside. So when you go in the car and make it as hot, for me, it really matter. Just open the car, turn them on, wind on the windows, few seconds, the hot air will come out, right? But no, I'm learning that it can cause damage to the dashboard and so
Yeah,
on.
the upholstery inside.
So how important? I mean, how long would it take before it start to? Is it the case where you should get it right away, as soon as you get your car, or in a really that much importance, so to speak? Because
To me,
how long you get
the-
last?
the tint
Yeah.
goes a much longer way than most.
Than the visor.
Whereas the big thing right now, everybody tinting their whole front windshield.
Okay.
They all have a checker on. And
Yeah, I know.
you look on plenty people tinting.
Because they
their
use
front.
like the lighter one just to
Correct.
just
Like,
to
not a
eliminate
dark
some.
one,
Just
but
eliminate some of the light.
Every time I start looking around right now, everybody tinting their front windshield. But what I did realize, they had a few vehicles, I think, between 2005 to 2008. I'm not sure if maybe Oz can help me out with this too. There are several companies, like if they're making dashboards, there'd be like one company contracted to do dashboards for maybe several vehicles.
Yeah.
Right? Just like Takata may do airbags
Yeah.
or harnesses for.
True.
Right? They're the Nissan Bluebird, which is online as the
Sylphy.
Sylphy. The same Lexus IS.
Yeah.
They're Camry. There are about 4 or 5 vehicles that I've seen imported here between 2005 and 2008. The Corolla Axio.
Yeah.
All have dashboard issues. Every single one. Like super accelerated dashboard issues.
And that's from the
They
climate.
come here,
Yeah.
they either have holes in them. When heat gets to them, it nearly look like chewing gum.
Yeah, it gets sticky,
It
really.
get
Yeah.
gummy.
Yeah.
So there was some sort of defective thing, I think, with whoever was contracted to do
To
dashboards
manufacture
for
those.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, most times I haven't seen much dashboard issues,
Nah.
to be honest. But UV rays are harmful in any
Any-
case.
that's
Just like
true.
the RTIs is no different than harmful to the dash. But tint would be the best option. And they
Alright.
have different types of tint
That's true.
you can use too.
Okay, fair enough. And then, so we have the regular, vacuum, brushing out the dust, yada, yada, yada. Use your tough stuff, wipe off your seat, blah, blah, blah. So we can move now, I guess, to the engine, just a tad bit, as it pertains to... So I remember the last time when I went to visit the establishment that you work for to service my car, I realized that they had to throw brake fluid in there.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
No, I was shocked.
Why?
Because for me, I feel like brake fluid is something that you just throw in once a year and then call it quits. Especially if your brakes will work properly. No, I didn't. So this is something, apart from the regular servicing, changing the oil, what are some of the things that you should look for? Again, oil change, filter change, but what else should you
So,
look at?
The other things you definitely want to look at, your wiper blades. It's a
Sure.
Nice.
real safety thing, especially.
Serious safety stuff.
It rain all the time, where we're at, anywhere in the world. As you said, the other fluids, so the coolant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you gotta make sure you got good stuff in your radiator. You can go all the way down to the radiator additive coolant topic versus antifreeze.
So
True.
we can get there. This is
Right.
just the
It's just the
surface.
surface.
I can get.
Yeah.
I can get
Right.
to because
Your
I have
windshield
questions
washer.
about. Yo, my question about radiator. My questions about spark plug. My question.
Okay.
So we can get there. This is just the first one.
So-
I don't want to overwhelm the
so
people too
surface
much,
layer.
right? Yeah.
Your windshield washer fluid,
Yeah.
wiper blades,
Yeah.
your coolant,
Uh-huh.
brake fluid, as you
correct,
mentioned,
yeah.
power steering
Power
fluid.
steering
fluid.
fluid
Power
as well
steering
too.
fluid.
Yeah.
Very important.
Some of the newer vehicles come with electronic power steering,
Yeah.
so you may not see a power steering reservoir.
Okay. Jesus
Transmission
Christ.
fluid, I would say, is the least changed.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That I did know
But
with
it
the-
is very important, especially if you have a vehicle that drives hard,
Yeah.
to check that out.
Door.
Transmission fluid. Because if there's shavings in that,
Yeah.
that means you need new fluid.
A lot of people tend to neglect transmission fluid. Like, there isn't anywhere I know of here in Antigua that you can go and do like a legit transmission flush. When I say a transmission flush, not like how we change engine oil, you loosen your bung, put it back, change your filter. Like, there are different machines overseas that
Yeah.
can extract all of it, like a vacuum, pull out everything and put in all fluids.
Because I drove a Honda Fit for like a good 3-4 months, and it started to like just give a little a jolt, you know, every time. So I took it to mechanic Naja. Shout out to Naja. You know, I think one of the best in Antigua. And Naja just tell me straight out the bat, like as soon as he drive the car, he said, "Mellow, yeah, transmission issues." So in my mind, I don't start go crazy. So Naja was like, the Vits itself, not the Vits, the Fit itself, the Honda Fit themselves have that issue. Yeah. He says sometimes they even come from Japan with the issue.
Yeah.
What you see,
I don't know how he solved that issue. Because he seemed like he a boss in solving that issue, which he did solve the issue.
Right.
So I don't know if he have one of those machines or it's just from his experience
maybe it was just due for a change.
Right. His experience of working with them. But that's
often,
one of the
if an issue is prominent enough, a fix comes about, and generally any good mechanic picks up on the fix, whether from information online or speaking to other mechanics, and everybody who's good at what they're doing would understand, hey, this is the fix for this issue because it's common. And it goes for a lot of vehicles, whether it's engine, suspension.
Right.
Once it's a prominent feature of that vehicle, somebody has a fix out there for it.
All right. So to the next, right? So just to keep within the general scope of maintenance. Again, this podcast is about, you know, just understanding vehicles and how they function, and just giving the novices like myself just a general understanding of things to look at when they're, you know, not only purchasing a car, but now you own a car, how to go about, you know, maintaining that car so you don't have future issues, right? One of the things I've noticed here in Antigua, I'm not, for your, again, for the establishment that you work for, I must give them some level of credit because it's a checklist. And if you have a good mechanic, that's somebody that, you know, enjoys what they do and, you know, have that reputation that they want to maintain, they will go through a similar checklist. Some mechanic is just like, hey, quick oil change, check get
rolling. Oil filter, gone.
That's it. Then even check the windshield wipe on them stuff. How important it is to check not only just the engine aspect, but like suspension and the front end and these things.
There are many things. So what we need to also realize is that there's a difference between service and there's a difference between an oil change. So some people just do an oil change your oil and filter. Hold
on. Again, this all information, so people have to take it in. You understand? Because I've owned the car. People can't see my face, so that's why y'all laughing. I've owned the car for almost.
And only thing you change that.
Big boss. Unless I come to his establishment or my mechanic, if I'm me alone to change my oil change. But this is the thing. When you carry a car to service, people think that. So now Killa just say there's a difference between oil change and service.
And we have to let vehicle as well.
We have to let that simmer so people can understand, because me just understand that today.
It will coast over it easily, to be honest. But it is inherently different. At my establishment where I work, we do an oil change with a 21-point check.
Yeah.
It is not a service still. A dealer does a service. Service entails checking your belts, checking your brakes, checking things that you don't do with an oil change. Or
even with the extensive list that you guys have?
21 plus.
21-point check. There will be a brake. It won't be a brakes. It will be your wiper blades, your bulbs, your fluids.
Hold on. Again.
All right.
I don't mean to cut y'all off all the time, but go back to that. When you say 21, so it's 21-point check.
21 points.
So the
so
best
oil change and a 21-point check.
So when you come into oil change, they have selected places where you can go to get oil change. That's standard. But when it comes to servicing, it has to go through a 21.
No, that's still not a service. Yeah. That's just a 21-point check.
That's just a 21-point check that we tack on to the oil change. A service is a totally different animal. A service, you gotta check your brakes, you gotta check your belts. Yeah. They have 100,000 mile service where if you have a timing belt, you may need to change your timing belt and your water pump.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you have a timing chain, you may need to inspect the timing chain for stretching all the way up.
So you're saying the term service
is different.
Servicing a vehicle is used loosely in Antigua.
Very much so. As a matter of fact, way too loose. Because everybody just call it me go service, me go this place go service.
Very loose.
Buy mechanic go service.
Like baggy pants in the 90s.
Yeah, man. Timbo boots. Boot cut. Yeah.
The man said like baggy Yo, like the Pepe G's in there with the big foot.
Tell you, boy.
Yeah, there are nowadays kids who know about that. But man, yo, honestly, I didn't realize that servicing is different than just not only the 21 point check, but also the oil change.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. So that's something that we need to go into as well.
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
That's something that we'll touch. So
And
we'll
even touch on suspension. That's a part that's also inspected in servicing.
And a suspension has a lot of components.
Yep.
So alright, so next episode then we can then go into the 20 not only the full aspects of servicing, right? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go after this. 'Cause no, I'm million no one question.
Like
So no,
mind
so this
blown.
literally explains a lot of things that sometimes I used to face when, you know, like I have to go to the mechanic and be like, yo, this happened. Why is this happening when we just service my car just the other day? In my mind, I think when you service,
you just did oil change, maybe.
exactly
Yeah.
my point.
Yeah.
And that's just for the engine.
And I'm not talking about Naja, no. I'm talking about like whoever me used to go to before. No? Because if it's one thing, when I go to Naja to service, Naja give me a
don't
list. Sometimes I tell Naja, you just relax, because you like you know why you for me pocket. You just humble for yourself, big boss. Just change the oil for the car. The little nice that you
rolling.
hear.
Do the
Is
nice.
it serious?
Can wait till next
You
week.
can't wait next week. You can't wait till the next year. You say, oh, Melo, you gotta have a change. I say, Naja, you want me to tell you. Man, $500 in the pocket, how much you change the aisle for the vehicle, big boss? Matter of fact, whatever the $500 can do that's severe, deal with that. No make it past 5. Anytime you pass 5, you're on your own. You can fix it up by yourself. You understand? Because me not pay for it, because I can't afford it. So it kind of makes sense. Man.
Levels, the levels.
Yeah, and that brings in another point. If you get a new vehicle, what's the running cost for that vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
Because different vehicles have different maintenance schedules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fellas, on that note, I think I don't want to even do this again. Matter of fact, I'm going to buy a donkey. Because I'll have to do grass and water and all good. Because me not... What?
I have a quick one.
So wait, hold on there.
Yeah,
So if me buy a new vehicle, you have to tell me I'm taking something into consideration when it's new?
Okay, so let's start on the high end that we aspire to. So, for example, you buy a new supercar,
Yeah.
and you would tell you cannot rev the vehicle beyond 4,500 RPM within the first 500 to 1,000 miles. Before you do that first maintenance. After that first maintenance, then you can go up into the red line.
Hey, Killa,
After that red line,
Just say what you said, because as I say, a boss
Well, I
in my
have to
brain.
mention
everywhere.
that too. So that's number 2 on my list. Hopefully, I'm going to forget. But for
damn.
instance, for all my life, I've owned all gasoline vehicles.
Yeah.
Right? So for the first time, I got a truck, last year?
Yeah.
Diesel?
And it's diesel.
Yeah.
Nice.
So just think, okay,
Rolling
cool, no
coal.
problem. I mean, oil change, yeah. No, normal thing.
Nope.
So basically, if you own a diesel vehicle,
I'll say nope.
well, it's, you know, as we really say, it's my first rodeo with diesel. And I've been around them, kind of know about them, but never really take it into consideration till you touch your pocket.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? So just like regular gasoline, just oil filter.
Yeah.
I think, well, diesel.
Same
Just
thing.
Get diesel filter and put in diesel oil.
Yeah.
But basically, each time now you're expected to change the diesel filter, which is not the oil filter, which
Correct
is the filter
too.
that the diesel run through before
Fuel
you get to the
filter.
engine.
And
I
you
don't really change that very often in gasoline vehicles.
Yeah.
But in a diesel maintenance schedule, from my understanding, is basically change it every time you change your oil.
That's
and your oil filter. So
that's
now it's an
recommended.
additional product that you need in your maintenance schedule for the life of that vehicle.
especially if that vehicle is running consistently and regularly, you're expected to. It's not a
Because-
severe in our climate, because part of the filter is a water separator. And we don't really
Water
get
gets in the
water in our water separator as much. We have the water separator. So like my vehicle has 2 fuel filters. There's an inline filter and there's one on the top of the engine as well.
Okay.
Right?
Both to capture. So
Right.
you gotta change 2 each time? Rastaman vibration.
Hey, give me a $5 no? But I mean, next time you come to the podcast, you buy all the drinks, because it seems like you swim the money.
Yeah, boy. It's
What?
crazy. So that's just, you know?
And that's another point. So depending on what vehicle you get, you have to know how easy the parts are. Which is one of the most popular vehicles in the company in the face of the planet, Ford. Ford trucks are most popular everywhere on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
And their parts are among the cheapest.
Nice.
Not hard to find, easy to get.
Yep.
Everybody make a version of a Ford part.
True.
So it might sound expensive, but Ford parts are really cheap, especially the diesel vehicle, because they're from utility vehicles to everyday vehicles.
And that's the number one vehicle for most of the government workers in the States, right? So
yeah, right. Even here, most of our fleet trucks are diesel Fords.
Fords, yeah.
550 and 450.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Fellas.
Yeah.
Yo, my silence. Don't take my silence as no. It's like, yo, honestly, I didn't understand and realize.
And depending on the displacement
yeah.
of your vehicle,
Pun intended.
that may indicate, especially in the realm of diesel,
Yeah.
how many liters of oil you're gonna have to change.
Oh, yeah.
So when I go up to Killa's establishment to do my oil change,
Yeah.
they get happy.
Yeah, man, because he might need a
Cha-ching!
I have to buy,
double.
most people get a quarter aisle.
Yeah.
I have to buy a case
Yeah, man.
of the large bottles.
Then they all up see when they're walking.
Listen. If that man they come here to next episode, bro, Killa, listen to me, Kenny. I need to have 2 bottle of juice for drink. He can't have a tap outside every card. Let me see face. Me send the mic outside, he tap outside. Because me understand what?
2 juice.
What?
Yeah, 2 juice.
Yeah.
Real something, man.
Man, guys, I learned a lot today. I won't, listen, trust me, I learned a lot today. We're going to go into more details and a lot more aspects. I mean, this is the first of many.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed today. I didn't know. No, I feel kind of bad because I wish me take the car thing seriously when kid me they teach me the car thing. Right now, I done how about 3 Evolution to sit down pan. But they sell all of them a bit of mansion.
Yeah, straight up.
Because me try to figure out what. Because that used to be my car, right?
Evo.
Yeah, man. They talk about evolution. Something about evolution. I'm like rally. Like to the point where just before the pandemic, when I went to the rally track up Crabs, I literally said, the man tell me, yo, that's when I realized as goes to what I was saying, it's an expensive sport because they were saying, listen, just to have a license, just to be on a rally track alone was like $2,000.
Yeah.
But the beauty about up at Crabs at the rally track, once you pay that fee, then you can not only access just to drive, but access to cars that are there as well. Too.
Okay.
That you can actually, and they will train you and all of that.
Okay, I didn't know.
So yeah, that's what I think MacGyver, his name is. That's what he told me. Right.
Oh, okay.
That's what he told me at the time. So I mean, hopefully we get them on the podcast and
Definitely.
maybe even do an episode up there, show some,
That's something I actually was trying to get into.
Yeah, no, it's something I would like to get into. I'm not no professional driver, but every now and again the adrenaline hit and you don't want to do that on government road. Sure. You understand? Because you put not only yourself at risk, you put other people at risk as well.
Which brings us into a conversation we're going to have on another episode.
Yeah.
Are we still drag racing or should we be doing circuit racing?
Do we have a circuit? We don't have a circuit track.
The rally track is a circuit.
It's considered,
oh yeah, it is. It's considered a circuit. Yeah.
Rally sprint, which I think is more like and they do like a rally kind of circuit.
Nice.
It's nice, man. It's a good vibe.
All right, guys. Yeah. Again, it was nice having this conversation with you guys today. I mean, I'm looking forward to more episodes. I'm sure the listeners will look forward to more episodes again. Killa, man, I'm educated. This was enjoyable. So, thank you guys for listening. This is the Displacement Podcast.